Okay. Hello, Ellis. Thank you for coming.
Hello.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, I go to watch uh the parade, and it's very crowded.
Yeah. Was it Ho Chi Minh City?
Yeah, like it was standing in an
Standing room only, right?
yeah,
Yeah. One student said he couldn't see over all the soldiers, many soldiers, and he was trying to stand higher, but he couldn't. It was difficult for him to see. That was who was that? Was that one of our students from another writing class? Maybe Naken wrote that. Remember Naken? All right. So hopefully people will come tonight. We started a little bit early. I just have to check tonight's lesson notes to the share to make sure they share okay. And I'll put this here. And tonight we'll talk about the Unification Day, but also we'll talk about Japan's Golden Week and the parade in Hiroshima is quite fun too. And so let's see, Zoom. Okay, share that. Okay. Oh no, Ellis disappeared. I hope Ellis comes back. It's just me now. Okay, let's see. Hello, everybody. Ellis was just here. Don too is here too. How are you, Don too? Tin Tin, Tin Tin, and two Don. Funny. Tin Tin, are you there? Hey, Tin Tin, how's it going?
Just fine, but I'm currently training for a presentation in my school.
Oh, do you need any help?
It's German and computer
Oh,
science, so yeah.
oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, I wish I could help you with the German, maybe, with the computer science, no. Funny. Hey, Tintin, I used to teach Japanese students about 4 years ago. They were computer technology students, and they were studying Python, Java, and Microsoft C++ to work for Japanese companies. They said they liked Python the best. It was the easiest to use. What computer language do you like to use the most?
Uh, Also Python.
Yeah, Python. Is it easy to use?
Yeah.
Now, Python is used in cell phones, or is that Java?
I think Java is used in cell phones.
Yeah. What's Python? Is it made for making games, creating computer games?
I think so, yeah.
That's why they all liked it because these guys love to play computer games. One of my favorite memories of these guys, they're like 19 years old, is during the pandemic, they would join Zoom like we're in right now. But the class started at 9 o'clock in the morning. So they used to roll out of bed and they would sleep underneath their coffee tables and then just turn on Zoom and their hair looked crazy. It was really funny. Let's see, we had a message from somebody. Okay, let's check the message, you guys. Dear teacher, kindly let me just listen today. Okay, that's fine. Hong Fook. Pitt, P-I-T-T, like Brad Pitt. That's kind of cool. All right. Thank you. And Miss Duke just joined us. Hello, Miss Duke. How are you?
Yes, it's me. I'm good,
Good.
thank you.
Hey, Miss
Today
Duke,
is the last one.
do
Yeah?
you celebrate Reunification Day also in your house in Melbourne?
No, it's just my normal day.
It's just a normal day. How were you happy with the Australian election results?
Oh yes, yes, yeah. It's nice.
It was nice. Very
The
anti-Trump. Yay.
yeah, yeah. I think that I support the Labour, so yeah.
Yeah. You're a Labor supporter. Good for you. I like Australian Labor is very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So you say stay close to your Vietnamese socialist roots. No political problems. You support Labor in Australia.
Okay.
We'll keep that secret. All right.
Yeah. All right,
All right.
today
Well,
is the
great to
final
see.
lesson. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we can
Mm,
sign some of these students up for summer because we had Tintin and
yeah.
Ellis are quite good, and some of the new students seem to really enjoy it too. So I hope we can hold on to these students because I really enjoy it. This is the most difficult class for me to teach because I have to do a lot of research to prepare for the lessons, but I don't mind. It makes me a
All right.
better teacher. All
Yeah.
right, we'll see you soon.
All right.
Oh,
Bye.
bye
Yeah.
bye. I teach
Uh,
tomorrow for Monday with writing
yeah.
number 1. Okay, it'll be fun to
Mm.
see those students too. They're a good little class. I enjoy teaching them. Okay, hey Alice, you came back. Is your microphone okay or your video connection okay, Alice?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, because sometimes like in Vietnam there are those terrible thunderstorms with the lightning and the electric or Wi-Fi goes out. So that's why I was wondering.
In Ho Chi Minh City.
Oh, it's not raining in Ho Chi Minh City. Was the weather beautiful for the April 30 celebration?
Too hot.
Oh, too hot. Can you give me a temperature like 35, 36, 38?
Maybe 37 to 38.
Oh my gosh, that's like Taipei weather in summer. That's hot. And Hiroshima too. It gets really hot in East Asia in summer really quickly. In today was only about 25 degrees. It was so beautiful, you guys. I loved it. Really wonderful weather. I even got a little red because I lay in the garden listening to music. We have a small garden. All right. Hey, let's take a look. I was reading student essays from writing number 3. Their homework was to tell me about Unification Day through their experience. And they wrote some nice stuff. I got some of this from our student, um, Naken. He's a really intelligent guy. Ellis and Tintin remember Naken. He's like me. He likes military history, so that's why I always get along with Naked. But he's also a really good writer too, Naked. I really enjoy working with him. Let's see. Hey, Tintin, would you? I'll read the first part, and then Tintin, if you want to read the blue part, if that's okay. So we have, hello everyone. I hope your reunification day was good. One of my students shared some pictures of the celebration in an essay he wrote, and it all looked fascinating to me. Here are some of the impressions the young student had. Tintin, would you like to read Mr. Naken's impressions? Actually, it's kind of long, and Tintin, you're a good reader. Could you read all of it?
Yeah.
Okay,
One
thanks.
special event this year is the parade. There are 13,000 participants made up of military personnel, police, veterans, and civilians. For the first time, Chinese, Laotian, and Cambodian troops marched alongside Vietnamese forces, symbolizing solidarity during Vietnam's struggle for independence. However, what really makes it special is that as a Vietnamese, when we see it, we can feel the power of the Vietnamese forces, and we remember that these people 50 years ago suffered so that we can live in peace, and will continue to do so in the future. The drone show is another special event for the 50th anniversary of Vietnam's reunification day. It features scenes related to April 30th and this year's highlights. Using up to 10,500 drones, it broke the Guinness World Record for the largest number of drones in a drone show. It displayed the tank that charged into the Independence Palace, the metro, President Ho Chi Minh, the Dong Son drum, and more. What really amazed me was the color. It was just miraculous. Thousands of tiny pixels flying together to form pictures. It was like paradise. Just the entrance, consisting of tiny, colorful dots flying up, was already beautiful.
Yeah, really nice description by Naked. So the drones actually made the tank that the famous picture of the tank that went through the palace gates, Ho Chi Minh, the metro, the Dong Son drum, and more. He has a sample of it here, you guys. So there it is. That's all in drones. And that's just unbelievable. And it broke the Guinness Book of World Records. It's really beautiful, I think. Hey, Alice, did you see this drone show with 10,500 drone lights?
Very good, really. And the picture is beautiful.
Yeah, isn't it? And that's all drones. That's unbelievable. Drones. But my feeling about drones is that people now think that they're aliens because they're so sophisticated, so advanced. Like Alice and Pitt and Tintin, if you guys made a UFO out of drones, you could really fool people into believing that this was an alien invasion, right? But at any rate, these two birds are sacred Vietnamese. In Southeast Asia, I notice in Indonesia, Singapore, and Malaysia, they have these magic flying birds that go back thousands of years. So it's really beautiful. In Indonesia, it's called the Garuda, but I don't know its name in Vietnamese. Alice, do you know the Garuda's name? The flying magic bird?
It's called ochre.
Is it part dragon, part bird, or magic?
It's actually a mother bird.
Yeah, mother bird. It's really cool. Look, they even have little fire coming out of her tail. Hey, Alice, let me read this for you guys. So this is the Japan thing that happened today, May 3rd. So here in Hiroshima and throughout Japan, May 3rd through May 6th is Golden Week, or GW, as the media refers to it. Hiroshima has a Flower Day parade each year. So these women are marching. Now remember this flag, because I'm going to talk about this flag later. Here's a war horse and there's a shogun on it. He's a warrior. So that's important to note because we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then there are these women, they're dancing. So these women practice and practice and practice all year long. They maybe meet once a month and start their practices. So the festival began in 1977. The festival was inspired by a victory parade for the Hiroshima Carp baseball team in 1975. And that's really important because that baseball victory came just 30 years after the dropping of the atomic bomb, when all of Hiroshima was completely destroyed. So to have a championship winning baseball team really made the Hiroshima people feel like their city was back. They could get their city back. It had become a famous city. From 1977 onwards, the festival celebrates life, peace, and community spirit in Hiroshima. A lot of groups practice choreography throughout the year in preparation for the main event, the parade. The dances can be to modern or traditional music. So I've known some young ladies who danced in these parades, and they did the traditional dances with Japanese folk music of flute and drums. But there also are speaker systems that play modern pop, Japanese pop, and they dance to it too. The ratio of men to women, it seems there are more women, like maybe like 5 to 2. For every 5 women, there are only 2 men. So this really seems like it's a female parade to me, because I just don't see many male members. It's always female dancers. So it's kind of like spring fertility thing. Hey, let me say hello to Anatron. Hello, Anatron.
Hello.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm great. Sorry for being late.
Oh, no problem. Were you in Vietnam?
Yeah, I'm now in Ho Chi Minh City.
Okay, so could you enjoy the Reunification Day celebration?
Well, I mainly just stay at home.
I stayed at home, yeah. Some of my younger students have tests to prepare for, so they had to stay at home and study. I felt sorry for them, but they said it's an important test, so they can only eat special food with their grandparents and and watch it on TV. This picture is from our student Macon. He's in writing class number 3, which is after this class on Sunday nights. He said there were 10,500 drones to make this, and it just broke the world's record. So we're just reading that up here, 10,500 drones. So what we're doing is I'm comparing this to Hiroshima's Golden Week celebrations. And this was today, May 3rd celebration. It's to celebrate peace and what are the things? Celebrates life, peace, and community and spirit in Hiroshima. It's part of Hiroshima's sort of rebuilding from the destruction of the atomic bomb. So these festivals, festival meet has a lot of deep meaning to it. So I know a British woman who is married to a Hiroshima Symphony Orchestra musician. I think he plays violin. He's Japanese. She's from England. She has been here since 1983. So altogether 42 years in Hiroshima. And the woman, Christine, has for many years been part of a Silk Road dance group that dances in one of the pavilions along the main route. I can't believe she still dances. She's in her 70s and she still teaches at a ladies' college. Here's Christine in the green skirt. And then these are the other women here. I think the 4 women or 5 women are all Japanese. So she is part of this Silk Road ancient dance, which is kind of international, unusual for this. Okay, so in last week's lesson, we discussed the challenging of conventional wisdom in the introduction to an essay. So this is the part of the hook concept, whereby we draw readers in with an interesting introduction to the essay thesis. Last week's examples included this starting sentence to an essay. We wrote, the rise in worldwide obesity rates has less to do with the spread of American-style fast food and has more to do with an increase in the American-style fast life. And so I said, recall that the conventional wisdom is fast food is not healthy, and this is the main problem with obese Americans, as well as other people throughout the world. However, the writer skillfully challenges correlation within the very first sentence in order to show the problem of obesity is far more complicated. A major part of academic writing is to take common held notions, common wisdom, what everybody thinks, and to test them in your theses to challenge those ideas. So we could describe an overall fast-paced lifestyle where workers and students have limited time and they choose to eat high-calorie, high-fat food to get energy as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, fast-paced lifestyles often do not include enough exercise, and people will gain excessive weight and have health problems such as diabetes and heart disease. These two are especially important to me because my family has a history of diabetes and heart disease, mostly on my father's side, because they are from Ireland and they have a high-fat diet. Okay, so as a final example of this challenging of assumptions, I could go back to the flower festival in Hiroshima that I just showed you pictures for. There was a point raised in an English newspaper in Japan over 30 years ago, and I remember it well. The staff writer for one of the dailies or daily newspapers wrote an essay or column in a newspaper that called to attention something that I myself and many other foreigners had not noticed previously in Japan. The festivals that promote peace, like the one today, still have warlike elements to them. For example, in the photo above, the women, the women, plural, the women have a banner that has a famous Japanese warlord on it. The festival is for peace, and yet there is a warlord pictured on it. Let me go back to that picture to show you. So this festival in Hiroshima, hello, good to see you, Luke. So this is the festival, May 3rd, and it's dancing, it's singing, it's colorful, it's for peace, but sometimes they still have these like war flags of like a Japanese warlord on his war horse. So it's supposed to be a festival for peace, but there are still some military elements to this parade. So the man who wrote this article 30 years ago, he's Australian, And this is paraphrasing what he wrote, but I have a very good memory, so I remember things like this from about 32 years ago. Each year, the spring and summer festivals, in addition to the sports events, feature players and performers who march in parades to military drums underneath banners that were originally used by samurai kingdoms and then national armies in acts of war. Although the aim is peaceful competition as an alternative to violence, the war banners and drumming recall Japan's violent recent past in World War II. And so this I would highlight in blue because this is challenging the assumptions here. Although the aim is for peaceful competition as an alternative to violence, the war banners and drumming recall Japan's violent recent past in World War II and hundreds of years ago. This particular article was used in an English conversation school's teaching materials. I remember a housewives class that I taught was really upset about this article. My only defense was the Osaka education section required that I teach this article for today. In this picture, you can see a military banner, and the march is very close to World War II fascist marching. The overall image looks a bit too militaristic or imperial conquest in many parts of Asia. So this march, you couldn't really do this in America or Europe. It would be considered too close to a German Nazi march. And the flag here is sort of a nationalistic flag. Many of the high schools in Japan in the 1920s and 30s had recruitment centers on the high school campus to train young 14 and 15-year-olds to be professional soldiers. So they're still doing the marching and still have the banners, and they march like this in baseball. And so to be critical of it is that it still has too much of a military component to it. And I stopped it there because I wanted to create discussion for you guys. So do you see what that part that I included here? This is challenging. By the magic word, you can see although. This we could replace. I think it was Anatron, you like to use while, was it? Or Hyon likes to use while. You could easily put while in there. Well, the aim is peaceful competition. As an alternative to violence, the war banners and drumming recall Japan's violent recent past in World War II. I used to teach at one of these high schools. It was a prestigious high school, but over the years, its level dropped in Hiroshima City. It was an all-boys high school called Sanyo. And we had a strange request from a family in Taiwan. They wanted to know if the school basement archives still had information on their great-grandfather who died in the Japanese army in World War II. So we did some research, and what's strange about the old Sanyo High School is luckily all the files on the students and the school records were in the basement. So when the atomic bomb hit, the basement was safe from the destruction. So we could find pictures of this boy for his family, but like many other boys, he had to join the Japanese military and he died in World War II. The number of Taiwanese who fought for the Japanese army in World War II was 250,000. So it was a really high number. So we could get information on their great-grandfather. They never met him. He wasn't their great-grandfather because he wasn't married. He was their great-uncle. So it's better. I made a mistake there. He was their great-uncle. And they just wanted to know who he was, what he looked like. They had almost no information on him. It was kind of a sad request, but we did our best to find a picture of him at the Sanyo High School. Okay, let me ask your impressions. Tue Fook, you always say, call me another name. But what is that other name? I forgot. It's Luke, right? Is that, can I check with Tue Fook? Are you there? Oh, he's not responding. He froze. Oh no, I'm frozen too. Hello, Tue Fook, are you there? Okay, my audio is freezing.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, teacher?
Good. I'm enjoying the stories from the students about the reunification day.
Yes.
Do you live in Ho Chi Minh City?
No, I stay in Hanoi. And
Okay.
I watched it through the televisions and the website.
Oh, okay. So are you ready for the test? How many drones were in this light show?
Yes, I heard that's more than 10,000 drawn.
You got it. More than 10,000. What a great answer because it's 10,500. It's a perfect answer. Nice work.
Yes,
Guinness Book of World Records, you guys. That's really wonderful. Very good. This
yeah,
is just amazing, the drone technology, right? It's just so
yes.
beautiful. Our student Ellis was telling me about these two magic birds. What are they called? I forgot the name that Ellis called these birds. Do you know the names of these birds? They're like a symbol of ancient Vietnam. They're magic birds, I guess. Let's see. Who knows that? Ellis, can you tell me the names again of these birds?
It's the ochre bird.
Oka bird?
Ochre.
Oka? Is that right, Alice? Did I spell OKA? Hey, Alice, put it in chat. You can always use chat.
The name is up in chat by
Oh, there you go. It's Alco. Oh, cow. So, okay, my pronunciation wasn't good. Thank you, Anna. Alco bird. All right. And let me move that back a little bit. We'll go down there. Okay. So, what is that bird a symbol of? Let's ask Anna Trump. What is it a symbol of? The Alco bird, because these birds all have magic symbols. And I'm going to just do a little homework here because I want to find this out using the Ellis spelling. Thank you for that, Ellis. Ow. Alco bird, Vietnam. And we're going to get some information on this bird. Oh, it's a beautiful tropical bird. Ha, 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 ha. All right, let me show you the page, everyone. I'll stop this share and we'll look at this page. Okay. Alco birds. Which one is it? Is it this one? 4,000-year history of this bird, Alco bird. Ha, ha, ha. So that's pretty cool. Ellis, do they make kites out of these for boys and girls to fly? There he is. Oh, is Ellis there? Let me ask Henry. Good to see you, Henry Min. Min, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Hey, Min, we're checking on the history of this Vietnamese bird because he was in the light show for the,
Oh,
yeah.
I think it's an iconic bird in Vietnamese history.
What,
So I don't
what
know.
does, what's it a symbol of? What does it represent?
I don't know. I don't learn Vietnamese history.
Okay. Oh, cool. Let me, you guys, let's do this then. We'll go to my favorite source and you say, is it true? So I had to check on the
I
flower
think
thing.
that bird is not real.
What is the symbol of Vietnam's? Oh, it's a legendary bird. It's like an imaginary bird. Yeah, because they have that in Taiwan too. They have some bird that looks like a mix between a dragon. Hey, Henry, can you read for us? My voice isn't so good.
Which
Sorry about that. Would you like to read this paragraph here?
the Auker bird is not a bird itself, but rather refers to Auker, a mythical mother figure in Vietnamese legend. However, she's often associated symbolic. Wait, how do I
Yeah,
read?
symbolically.
Symbolically
Yeah.
with the crane of phoenix, both of, both of which are traditional East Asian symbols of nobility, race, and immortality.
Ah,
Symbolic meanings. Crane. In Vietnamese culture, the crane is symbol of loyalty, lo- longevity, and spiritual. Wait, what's that word?
transcendence.
Transcendence.
Yeah,
Often depicted
yeah.
in pagodas standing on a turtle, symbolizing harmony between heaven and earth.
Mm.
Phoenix, Feng Huang, sometimes associated with royal woman. The phoenix symbolizes virgin beauty and renewal, and may be linked to Alka as a divine mother figure.
Yeah, interesting, Henry, because in Hiroshima, the bird is the phoenix, because the phoenix is the bird who rises from the ashes of the fire. And so that's the symbol of Hiroshima, that it rose from the ashes of the terrible atomic bombings. So that's why Hiroshima's in Peace Park, there's Phoenix Memorial Hall, which really famous people like the Dalai Lama and President Obama have the Pope have all gone to Phoenix Hall for memorial for atomic bomb victims. So that's the Phoenix. So both Crane and Phoenix are famous. I think in all of Asia, Phoenix and Crane are famous in all these countries, right? Okay. And so who is the thing? Hey, Tintin, are you there? Oh, by the way, there's some wonderful vocabulary words in here, Henry. This word transcendence is to go beyond human life to sort of a spiritual life is transcendence. And in America, the transcendence movement is important in literature because it was transcendence through nature. These were early writers from Boston and New York who went west when a lot of America had no industrial development, and they went to the beautiful mountains and they called it a transcendence experience. It was like a magical spiritual transformation experience through nature. So it was very romantic. In Germany, they had the Romantic period, but in America, it was a little bit later. It was the transcendence in the 1870s, 80s, and 90s, 200 years ago. Okay, so that's good. And so, what is the Aukao? I'm trying to pronounce like Alice said. In the legend, Aukao was a mountain fairy who married Long Lo Quan, a dragon lord from the sea. Together, they gave birth to 100 children, the ancestors of the Vietnamese people. This myth is central to the idea of unity and the duality of Vietnam's geographic and spiritual identity, mountains and sea, fairy and dragon. So while Alcala is not technically a bird, her spiritual symbolism is often connected to bird-like grace and sacred femininity represented by the crane or phoenix. Nice, really nice. Okay. And let me see. Now, this is strange. ChatGPT is offering images, and I didn't know it would offer images. Let's see, can it do an image on ChatGPT? Because the free version at 3.5 that's the first time I've ever seen images. So, all right, well, I don't really care. We'll do it later. Okay, so for tonight's class, can you do me a favor? Since we have about a half an hour left and I did the main points for today for the chat, in the chat, can you take time to write just 4 or 5 sentences, like a brief paragraph of what you did for Reunification Day. So here's the question in chat. What did you do for Reunification Day? That should be capitalized, by the way, since it's a proper name for Vietnam. It's Reunification Day. What did you do for Reunification Day? Did you join the celebrations in Ho Chi Minh City? Okay, so anything is okay. So take your time, and when you're finished and putting it in chat, then everyone can read it. I can copy it and put it in today's lessons notes for you too, so you have a copy of everybody's work. So if anyone would like to write, that would be fine in chat. I could write some answers here. I can interview students too while this is going on. So for example, I go down here. By the way, I didn't go to this parade in downtown Hiroshima because it was my birthday on April 29th, and I went out for lunch with my friend and had a big dinner with my wife. All right. Hey, let's say interview Tintin. Is Tintin there?
Yes.
Hey, Tintin, give me 5 sentences. I'll write them here for you about what you did the last few days in Germany.
I went outside and played soccer with my friends.
Okay. Are you a good soccer player?
Decent.
Okay. What position do you play?
Defender.
Okay. And Tintin, what was the weather like?
It was rainy.
Okay. So you played in the rain?
Yeah.
Did you win or was it just a practice game?
Just practicing.
Oh,
I was just playing with my friends.
oh, okay. What do they call that? The British call that a kickabout or a practice. What do they call it? They have a special
I think
yeah,
we called a friendly match.
friendly match is good. Yeah, nice. Was that Henry?
Yeah,
Thanks, Henry. Henry, you can leave your microphone and talk to Tintin. You guys are about the same age.
I think I'm younger than him.
Really? Tintin, you're 15 now?
No, I'm 13.
Oh my gosh. Tintin's 13. Henry, how old are you?
What? I'm 14.
See, you guys are really close in age. That's funny. But Tintin's in Germany. And Henry, what city? I asked you before, but I always forget the cities. Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi or Nha
Not
Trang?
really. It's Ho Chi Minh City.
Oh, you're in Ho Chi Minh. So, Henry, I forgot the answer. Did you go to the celebrations for Reunification Day?
Yeah, I did, but
Okay,
it was
Henry.
crowded though.
Okay. Uh, to the Reu, spelling this too many times, you guys. Celebrations, let's call them. It was very crowded. Could you see the soldiers marching and everything?
I didn't watch that one. I watched like
Okay.
um airplanes and stuff.
Oh, okay, the airplane flyovers. And were those the old Soviet era jets?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think there are like three of them, so
Uh-huh.
3 or 4, I forgot.
Were they noisy?
Very, very, very loud.
Yeah. I asked because 25 years ago, I went to Chicago's air show in August, and they had two F-18s fly over the lake. And then amongst the tall skyscrapers, it was so noisy, it was shaking the windows. I just can't believe the power of those jets. Henry, I think jets are like a great psychological weapon in war. They make so much noise that they scare the enemy, right? Okay. And they were very noisy. Henry, can you tell me one more thing about the
Um,
reunification?
I did play football with my friends. It was
Ah,
a friendly match.
all
Yeah.
right. And was the weather good for that, or was it too
Yeah,
hot?
it was a sunny day.
And in the friendly match, was there any winner or just kicking about?
Yeah, it's just play for fun. We play for fun. There's no
Yeah,
losing.
I think the British, I think they call it a kickabout, is what I'm a
I don't
kickabout.
know what they kick about.
Because my friends used to invite me on Sundays to do soccer or football, and they'd say, Brendan,
Oh, I think you call it like Sunday League.
Sunday League. Yeah, they had a Sunday League playing against
Yeah.
factory workers from Peru versus the
Sunday League is
Japanese.
like a
Yeah.
it's better than a friendly match, but
Yeah. So the Peruvians were pretty good at soccer. The British were pretty good, and the Japanese. They're all sort of equally matched. But on casual Sundays, when there was no tournament play, they would say, "Hey, Brendan, do you want to come along for a kickabout?" But I don't really play soccer well. I'm better as a defender. Soccer is hard work, Henry.
you need to play a lot.
Yeah. I played against some Chinese guys 25 years ago, and I could only do defense. They were on a green soccer pitch near the lake in Chicago at Northwestern University, and they were all grad students. So, Henry, did you see the Chinese soldiers in the parade?
I didn't watch the soldiers because
Okay. Because,
I'm not interested in that.
yeah, because this is from Nakin, who's about 12 or 13 years old now. And Nakin wrote that he saw soldiers from uh, Chinese, Laotian, and Cambodian troops marched alongside the Vietnamese forces. I thought that was kind of interesting. So it's good there's peaceful relations amongst Cambodia and Vietnam now, because there was some real tensions 50 years ago, out and out warfare, actually.
They're always in touch. So
Yeah. Do they discuss things now, or do they still have some problems about stuff?
I think they still have some problems.
Is fishing rights on the Mekong rivers, is that a problem? Like, don't take too many fish, don't create an electrohydric dam, access for water for the rice farmers, because Cambodia is further upstream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually, I studied that for my master's program. Let's get a map of Southeast Asia here, and follow that. We can use that as a discussion. Remember, all these ideas probably could be used in writing, formal writing. So there it is, the Great Mekong Delta. And so this is all Vietnam, and there's the border. So yeah, these two branches come right out of Cambodia. Wow, what an amazing river. It's like a natural boundary, isn't it? They follow this boundary for the border for Laos. Yeah. Henry, do you know the history of this? The French created colonial things here and here, Vietnam and Cambodia, but they weren't so successful in Laos because the river flows down and the French couldn't get their boats up the river. So it made their attempts to colonize this really difficult. It served as a really natural barrier for the Laotian people.
I'm not really into the history subject, so
Okay, yeah. I read this in a book that so this is what's called a shared water resource, but these can always get really difficult in international relations because you have to decide how much water they can use for their rice, how much water for your rice. How about fishing? Are they overfishing it, taking too much fish? So you have to have these negotiations. So I was studying those negotiations 5 years ago, but not recently. So actually, the Mekong, it starts up there in the Himalayas, right?
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, let's ask. Hey, Mr. Tui Phuc, the Mekong, we're looking at the Mekong River.
Yes, I can see Mekong River.
So if you're here, it's in southern China and they use it a lot for agriculture. So by the time it gets to Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, is the
Yes.
water purity good, or are there too many chemicals in it from Chinese farming?
Oh, yes. I heard that the originals of these rivers come from China, but now I see that it is so long,
Yeah,
come
it
from
actually,
the north
yeah, from
north
the
of China.
Himalayas. So it starts here, really unbelievably fresh Himalaya mountain water from Nepal and
Yes,
Tibet.
from Himalaya
Yeah.
mountain. Wow.
So like in India, if you get the water here, it's really fresh and easy to drink, easy to use. But if it goes through all these farming systems, by the time it gets to northern Laos and Myanmar border, it must already have a lot of like chemicals in it, right? For growing rice in southern China. Uh-huh. Okay. And let's use that since we're talking about a lot of topics today. We could also ask ChatGPT this question. And I'm surprised ChatGPT is getting better. What are the main water resource difficulties for the shared Mekong River system for nations that use the water? Now, this might be a really long response, you guys, but this would make a great research thing since we're talking about academic writing. Let's see if we're satisfied. We'll ask our class, are you satisfied with this response? So my question, what are the main water resource difficulties for the shared Mekong River system for nations that use the water? They have to share the resources. And let's see, Tui Phuc, would you like to read response number?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Mekong River says by six countries: China, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam faced several critical water resource challenges that impact the region's ecosystem, agriculture, and livelihoods. Upstream dams construction, especially by the China and Laos, issues larger hydropower dams upstream like China's land Kang's dams and Laos Sayaburi dams regulate water flows for electricity, disrupting the natural seasonal flooding impact, reduce water availabilities downstream, particularly in Cambodia and Vietnam during dry seasons, and interrupts fish migrations patterns.
Yeah, so this is a serious problem.
Yeah,
Dams.
I heard that when China's had built a dam to reduce levels of waters of Mekong River, it impacts a lot of Mekong deltas of Vietnam area. And reduce the salt water and let the sea, the sand water from the seas attack to the land and impact to the habits and the rice plant of Vietnam.
Yeah. So now this is interesting from our academic writing standpoint. Wow, they put 6 points here, right? So if I took all of this and I'm going to copy it here, and then I'm going to put it into our writing notes at the bottom here, because we're still kind of doing part 2 of last week's lesson on how to write an effective contradictory thing in academic writing. And so I could easily take this. This is a great example. So if we start out with the idea, and I'll start with that although word, I would write here. Here, let me just put a marker between these two. And so I'm going to start with the typical although there has been a significant improvement in transnational, we'll call it, I guess. Okay, that's the best I could come up with as a way to, hook the writer in. Although there has been a significant improvement in transnational water rights agreements in Southeast Asia's Mekong River system, there are still a series of issues to address concerning use of the crucial water resource. I think that's a pretty good hook. And then you could go into these for an essay, address all 6 of these. Might be a nice 8-page paper, I believe. It's pretty good. Let's ask Anna's opinion. Hello, Anna. Are you there?
Hello.
Hey, Anna.
Yeah.
How are you? Do you study the Mekong Delta?
I definitely know about that, but I don't study that.
Okay. I just thought it would be an interesting way to introduce this. The contrary idea. It could be that people think that there are really good relations amongst 6 nations who use Mekong River, but you could challenge this in a thesis and then use these here. Anna, my voice is kind of damaged today. Can you read these extra points?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Loss of sediment flow issue dams trap nutrition-rich sediments that would naturally flow downstream. Impact erosion of riverbanks and coastal areas, notably in Vietnam's Mekong Delta. Declining agriculture productivity due to loss of fertile soil. Fisheries decline. Issue: the Mekong is the world's largest inland fishery, but fish habitats are fragmented by dams and water fluctuations. Impact: food security and livelihoods are at risk, especially in Cambodia, where millions rely on, I don't know that word, Tonle,
Tonle, yeah, I guess.
Tonle Step Lakes fisheries.
Good. Do you want to read some more? You're a great reader. Would you like to try some more?
Thank you.
I
Climate
need my
change.
water. Yeah.
Climate change issue intensified droughts, shifting rainfall patterns, and rising sea levels. Impact: lower water levels during dry seasons and increased saline intrusion in the Mekong Delta, harming rice fields and freshwater supplies. Lack of coordinated governance issue. The Mekong River Commission includes only Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and Vietnam, not China or Myanmar. Impact: China unilateral decisions on dam releases limit downstream nations' ability to repair or respond.
Wow, I had no idea that China controls the water. See, Anna, I studied this for Syria because it was in civil war, and Turkey was playing games with their dams, not allowing really fresh mountain water to flow into the Kurdish parts of northeastern Syria, and that took some serious negotiation amongst countries like America, Germany, England, who said, please, even China was part of those negotiations, please, Turkey, open the dams with the fresh water because the agricultural areas of northeast Syria desperately need the water. So, countries play political games with water releases. This is one of the important points, right? Finally, agriculture and industrial pollution. This is what I thought the main problem was. Runoff from pesticides, fertilizers, industrial waste. Pesticides used to kill bacteria and small insects that destroy rice, especially. And deterioration of water quality and threats to biodiversity and human health. And this is why I asked Tu Phuc if it was the water quality gets worse once you leave China, and they've used it in their agriculture, the water quality can get worse. Now, here's the thing I've been talking about during our course is that if you were using a ChatGPT, here are all these really great points. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, I'm going to say, can you please, I'm always nice to ChatGPT, can you please provide some citations for the above information? And what I like to do is, always check your AI, make sure it's not giving you strange answers. So it's going to give us two responses. I know ChatGPT's been doing this a lot lately. They give you two choices and then they ask you, which do you like better, But what we need are citations. So Financial Times is pretty good, but they have a paywall. I'd like to go to Financial Times, but they have a paywall, and so does Reuters. Oh, a lot of things by Reuters, the international news agency. This looks pretty good, this MRC Mekong. This looks like a government policy thing. And if it's ever government policy, by all means, use that first. Yeah, Mekong River Commission. So this looks like pretty serious. This would probably be a really good resource, you guys, to put as a citation, because this is published by a commission for policymakers, politicians, government planners. There they are. All there, shaking hands. And it's long too. You can get a lot of information from this. So it turns out ChatGPT is pretty good, you guys, for providing this Mekong River Commission, right? Let me just check that paywall for Reuters, though. See if you can use these articles because some of these are professional news organizations. So if I go to Reuters, will they let me in? Oh, okay. Oh, this is pretty serious. 1/5 of Mekong River fish species face extinction. You could use Reuters as a source. Reuters has been around for 150 years. Oh, it even has video. And that's interesting. We're not supposed to use video during Zoom because it's too data rich. So I can't stay on this page very longer. But if it's 1/5 equals 20% of the Mekong fish have decreased. So that as you can see, this is a serious problem. Okay, very good. All right, any questions? Let me interview another student about what they did on the Unification Day, because I showed you most everything I wanted to cover tonight. Dui Fu, can you tell me some Reunification Day activities?
Yes, on the last days, I ride to Ninh Bình province, and it was a hard day because it took 4 hours
Uh,
from Hanoi to Ninh Bình province.
uh,
Those in normal days, I only drive uh, for 1.5
uh,
hour.
ah,
Yeah, on that days, uh, it was a hard days. I remember a lot of cars stuck on the roads, and
yeah,
we uh, couldn't go um, fast.
uh,
It was slowly, and a lot of people went home and went on holiday.
hmm.
Yes, and I went home so almost midnight
Oh
of
my gosh,
of that days. Yes, and
because of the traffic?
yeah,
Oh my God.
it was traffic, uh, high traffic.
Uh,
Yes, and then I went to homeland, visit
uh,
my father's, and stay with him a bit times, and came back Hanoi 2 days ago.
okay.
Yes, and stay at home with my son in Hanoi.
um, did a lot of people just choose to stay at home because they knew how crowded things would be?
As far as I know, so many families went on holidays to the beach
Yeah,
and celebrate unification days, and
yeah.
took the holiday.
Uh,
Some of the families they didn't go anywhere; they stay in Hanoi and enjoy. So with it's a time of the unification days, because in Hanoi now it's quite peaceful, no traffic jams, and less people than normal.
yeah.
Yeah. But on the other hand, some coffee shop they close.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't open on during those days.
Uh,
Yeah, only supermarkets and some park.
mm,
Yeah, some and entertainment area.
okay. Entertainment area was quiet too.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's very crowded.
yeah. That sounds like Japan on January 1st. And then in Taipei, Chinese New Year's, which is also Tet, uh, January 26th in Taipei. Taipei City just gets so quiet because everyone goes back to their hometown
Yeah.
for those holidays. Yeah. It sounds fun though. Okay.
Today's I think on the roads
Mhm.
from province to Hanoi. The
Mm,
same on the last working day also
yes.
have the same with the high traffic car and a lot of people come
Uh,
back to the city for working tomorrow.
oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm wondering, in Hanoi, at the workplace tomorrow, the energy will be very low.
Yes, it's the same as usual. So.
Let me ask Mr. Henry Min that question. Henry, are you there? Is Henry there? So, Henry, you're like 13, 14 years old now. When you return to school on Monday after some nice holidays, is the energy of the students really low?
Maybe my
Yeah.
classmates are, but I'm having exams, so it's unfortunate.
So, will you guys just go quietly into your exams and start taking them or study
Yeah,
for your exams?
of course we have to study before
Uh,
exam, but
will it
it
be
depends
quiet
on the
study?
classmate.
Quiet study or group study?
For me, I'm doing it alone.
Alone, yeah. So, do you think your energy will be pretty good on Monday morning after all the great holidays?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I asked
I
that
don't
because,
like staying at home.
yeah,
It's
because
boring.
the reason I say that is because in workplaces and at schools in the teacher's room, the energy level can be really low. So everyone has to drink a lot of coffee. And it isn't until about 12 o'clock that people start to get their energy back. But then people say at the end of the day, Henry, they say, thank God this day is over because the Mondays back are the real. You'll see that as you get older as an adult. Yeah,
Yeah,
when oh man, nobody has any energy today, right? It's just a difficult working day after so much, celebrations, excitement, long holidays. It's probably like that in Vietnam after Tet holidays anyway. So let me just look at one thing that Dui Fook, you mentioned the beach option for the holidays. So let me do Reunification Day 2025. And I saw a picture, and this looks like it's fun, but it looks really. Huh. And here we go. And these are some images. And these are fun images. I like them. Okay, so here they are, the traditional images of the traditional dancing, beautiful young ladies in the flag of Vietnam, the soldiers marching. Uh, let's see, are these old war heroes? They're kind of young, but I don't know. Soldiers, just soldiers marching. And let's see. By the way, there's that famous tank. They actually did that tank in the light show. One of these tanks is famous in the palace. But one of the pictures I saw, everybody, was the beach picture. This is what somebody mentioned, the beach picture. It's kind of crazy because it looks like Australia when they have national holidays in Australia. Everybody goes to the beach in Australia. So let's see if I can find a beach picture. Um, oh my gosh, that's a train. Okay, I thought that was a stadium filled with people. I can't find the beach picture, everybody. I saw a really great beach picture, despite all the soldiers marching in the traditional costumes. Um, there was this really wonderful beach picture, but I cannot find it. Okay, well, there we go. Okay, so let's finish tonight's class. Of course, I don't normally give homework on the last day of class. We'll start again sometime in June for academic writing number 5. All of you are welcome to join it because you've got the skills to do that, to easily join academic 5. And academic 5 will start using the same textbook, and we'll have 10 new lessons that further your writing. We covered the basics on an introduction and a body paragraph. And I think in part 2, we'll be doing conclusions just to make your writing stronger. You are great students. I think increased your vocabulary a lot, and your sentence constructions also improved. I saw like a better use of clauses. So congratulations, you all learned some really good things. I'm really happy with this class. So I shall say thank you to Ellis. Thank you to Anna Tran. Thank you, Mr. Henry Min. Thanks, Fu Hong. Thanks, Tintin. Thanks to Fook. I hope you can join another class. It's been a pleasure.
Teacher.
Thank you. I always look forward to Sundays to teach you because you all have interesting things to say, interesting lives. It's really amazing for me as a teacher. So thank you so much for a great class. And we'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you guys in June. I'll see you in June. We'll start sometime in early June. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr.
Bye-bye.
Brennan.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Anna. Thanks to Fook. Bye-bye, Henry. Bye-bye, Pitt. Bye-bye,